Hi, it's Obeynezi here. Before we get started, please leave a like and subscribe to help me hit 800 subscribers. And watch to the end to find out some cool and interesting information about Michigun, one of the best Geometry Dash creators. Thank you. How does one player become a legend in a game played by millions? For one guy, it was 3 simple spikes. 3 perfectly spaced triangles that would become a symbol of both agonizing difficulty and, somehow, genius. Millions of players know the pure pain of the triple spike, but not many know the full story of the legend who made it his own, and the tragic end he met. This is the story of Michigun, the triple spike king, a player who climbed to the absolute pinnacle of Geometry Dash, only to leave behind a legacy that's as iconic as it is heartbreaking. In the early days of Geometry Dash, as the community was just finding its footing, a player from Austria named Michael Reisner, or Michigun online, started making waves. But he wasn't like the other top players popping up. While most were on PCs with powerful setups for maximum precision, Michigun was a mobile player. He was climbing the ranks on an iPhone, a feat that, even today, earns a special kind of respect in the community. It wasn't just that he played on mobile, it was his sheer dedication that was mind-blowing. In 2015, through pure perseverance and an unbelievable grind, Michigun did the unthinkable. He hit the #1 spot on the global leaderboards for total stars. And this wasn't some fleeting moment of glory. He held that top spot for nearly 2 years, a reign that felt unshakable. At his peak, the gap between him and the #2 player was massive, a testament to a level of commitment that bordered on obsession. He wasn't just playing the game, he was conquering it, 1 star at a time, on a tiny screen most would call a handicap. It was the beginning of a legend, but no one could have guessed the symbol he was about to unleash on the world. Every legend has their thing, right? Their signature move that defines them. For Michigun, it was deceptively simple, 3 spikes in a row, the triple spike. To an outsider, it's just a small obstacle, but to any Geometry Dash player, it's a rite of passage. It's a jump that has ended countless runs just seconds from victory. Before Michigun, it was just another part of the game. After him, it was an institution. He became famous for plastering triple spikes all over his levels, turning them into his personal trademark. His section in the legendary mega collaboration Bloodbath was notorious for its brutal triple spike timings. He didn't just use them, he perfected them, popularized them, and basically owned them. He even made a level called the Triple Trial, which was just 50 consecutive triple spikes. The level was so notorious that it got an official rating from the game's developer, RobTop, despite its minimal design. Pretty soon the community caught on. The triple spike became more than a jump. It became a nod to the king himself. Creators would hide messages like, "For Michi," behind triple spikes in their levels. The symbol Delta 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 became completely synonymous with his name. It was part joke, part challenge, and part tribute, all at once. Michigun had turned one of the most basic elements of the game into his own personal icon, forged through pure skill and repetition. But Michigun was more than just a star grinder or the king of one obstacle. His legacy wasn't built on destruction. He was an architect too. He started a series of iconic levels known as the Temple series, each one inspired by the dungeons from The Legend of Zelda. Levels like Water Temple, Fire Temple, and Shadow Temple weren't just hard, they were atmospheric experiences. They showed off a creative vision that proved he was more than just a player and cemented his status as a pillar of the community. This creativity earned him massive respect. He worked with the game's top creators, contributing a famously difficult part to Bloodbath, one of the most legendary extreme demons in the game's history. As the level's verifier Riot went through the grueling process of beating it, he noted that Michigun's encouragement was a huge boost. He was described by those who knew him as a kind, genuine, and wholehearted presence. After hitting 100,000 YouTube subscribers, he did a face reveal, connecting on a more personal level with the community that loved him. At his peak, Michigun was everything a player could aspire to be. The #1 player, a celebrated creator, and a beloved community figure. He had built a kingdom of spikes and temples, becoming an immortal in the Geometry Dash world. But the pressure of being on top is immense. Before we get into what happened next, if you're finding this deep dive into gaming history valuable, consider subscribing for more stories like this. For 2 years, Michigun's reign felt absolute, but thrones are heavy, and no king rules forever. Starting in 2017, other star grinders began closing the gap, and he was eventually surpassed on the leaderboards. His activity in the game, once a relentless flood, slowed to a trickle. Unlike the dramatic rise and fall stories you see in esports, Michigun's departure wasn't a spectacle. It was a quiet, slow fade. In December 2017, he posted a cryptic message on his in-game profile that sent a wave of speculation through the community. According to community memory, it read simply, "Game over. I wish you all the best. Swimply." He later confirmed this was his way of saying he was quitting the game. There was no big farewell tour, no dramatic explanation. The king was simply stepping down. For years, he'd been the most dominant force in Geometry Dash, and now, just like that, he was gone. He remained a legend, whispered about in forums and comment sections. He'd pop up now and then, even posting a video for a mega collaboration in 2019, where he clarified that while he wasn't returning, he'd always remember the game and its community. For the most part though, one of the most honored players in the game's history had stepped away, leaving a void that no one else could quite fill. On March 10th, 2021, the Geometry Dash community was hit with an unthinkable tragedy. Viprin, a close friend and another prominent player, confirmed the news. Michael Michigun Reisner had passed away at the age of 24. The announcement was met with widespread shock and disbelief. He was so young, and his quiet exit from the game had in no way prepared the community for his exit from the world. Out of respect for his family, the cause of his death was kept private. The community wasn't left with answers, just a profound sense of loss. Tributes poured in from every corner of the Geometry Dash world. Players and creators, from the most famous to the unknown, shared their grief. The man who had once been the game's unbeatable final boss was gone. The pain was real. This wasn't just the loss of a top player. It felt like the loss of a foundational piece of the community itself. He was remembered not just for his incredible skill or his iconic levels, but for the person he was. Kind, positive, and an inspiration to countless players. The king was gone, but his kingdom was about to make sure his name would never be forgotten. In the wake of his passing, the triple spike was transformed. It was no longer just a hard jump or a creator's signature. It became a memorial. Across the game, players and creators used the simple delta 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 symbol to pay their respects. Levels were built in his honor, many themed after his iconic Temple series. His retirement post on his profile became one of the most liked in the entire game, a digital monument to his memory. The community immortalized him in r/place, the massive collaborative online art project. And in the ultimate tribute, the game's developer, RobTop, added a small green heart next to Michigun's name in the game's credits in the 2.2 update, a permanent in-game memorial to his unparalleled impact. To this day, he's the only person to receive such an honor. The story of Michigun is a tragic one. It's the story of a young man who reached the absolute peak of his passion, who became a legend through sheer force of will, only to be lost far too soon. But his legacy isn't just in the tragedy. It's in every single level that features a triple spike. It's in the design of the temple levels that still inspire creators today. It's in the memories of a community that saw him as one of their own. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die. And in the world of Geometry Dash, Michigun is, and always will be, a legend. The community ensures his name will never be forgotten. What are your favorite memories of Michigun or his levels? Share them in the comments below, and let's keep his legacy alive with the iconic Delta Delta Delta. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one!